two arms, the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea, will converge near Delhi, and you will be once again before heading north to bless the land of five rivers. These are the lines taken from the poem Monsoon, a book written by poet diplomat Abhay K. Abhay K is the Indian ambassador to Madagascar and Comoros. These are the islands at the Indian Ocean near East Africa. Poetry is one of the art forms which gives the author a liberty to express themselves. Beautiful, vivid descriptions takes the reader to a wholly different scenario and takes the mind to see the world described in it. In these poems, in which the author expresses love and longing, keeps the reader engrossed in thoughts to smoothly sail to the end. One can see a silent raga lilting through the monsoon, which begins from Madagascar and travels through seas, hills, and mountains and rivers and brings back a message back to Madagascar where it all began. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Monsoon and love that is portrayed in the poem are topics which rarely combine. What is your take on this?
Well, I translated Kalidasa's Meghdut and Ritu Samhar, and this happened during the pandemic when I found time to read Meghdut and Ritu Samhar and translate these two poems of Kalidas from Sanskrit into English. This inspired me to write a poem in the way Meghdut is written, which is known as Kavya Sandesh or Sandesh Kavya. It uses a device which is called messenger device. Instead of clouds in Meghdut, I have used Monsoon as my messenger to send a message from Madagascar to an imaginary beloved in Srinagar. On the way, I have described the biodiversity, landscapes, food, culture, languages of the islands in the Indian Ocean, Madagascar, Mauritius, Seychelles, Reunion, Comoros, as well as Maldives and Sri Lanka. And then all the way above, it goes to Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and then the eastern side of India, and then one arm goes through the Western Ghats right up to Delhi, where they unite and go up to Srinagar. Some of the places I have visited, some of the places I have not. So it was based on my readings and my imagination. And it took 1.5 years, I would say, from the beginning to the end, till the end.
Yeah, you have varied interests in poems, literature, translation, and painting, and tell a story each and every time. What is the inspiration behind all of this?
I want people to realize the unity of life, the unity of art, the unity of our planet. So has this holistic picture, which comes from ancient Indian philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the whole earth is a family, not only includes the human beings, but also all the species on our planet. And it also applies different art forms. For example, poetry and paintings, literature, fiction, non-fiction. I mean, I do not see them as separate. I see there's an interconnection between all of these. And I see the whole picture. I think that lies behind my inspiration. This quest for a holistic approach in whatever I do.
Being a diplomat, how does poetry help in your job?
For at least one thing, poetry teaches you to choose your words very carefully. Another thing is that it also teaches you how to express yourself in few words. We call brevity. Same rules apply in diplomacy. This ability to choose words and ability to say more in less words. So there is both poetry and diplomacy. They sort of complement each other. Poetry helps me to become a better diplomat, and being a diplomat helps me to write the poetry.
How is Madagascar important when it comes to monsoon? It is a small island comparatively in the Indian Ocean.
Geographically, monsoon originates near Madagascar in a place called Mascarene High. It's a high-pressure area, starts forming towards April, and then monsoon winds start blowing. And then winds first, they blow over Madagascar. And when they cross the equator, they blow here towards the equator in the northeastern direction. And then when they cross the equator, they change from east to west. The easterlies, they become westerlies because of the apparent Coriolis force. And then they go towards India. So monsoon here in Madagascar lasts for a few days, a few weeks, and there are lots of rains. As we have rains, as in Kerala, as in Western Ghats, or in Tamil Nadu when the monsoon is coming back in winter.
Could you tell us about the 100 great Indian poems and a brief account of what's inside that? Because it has been translated into Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Malagasy, and Arabic, and also into French, Russian, and Nepali. What was the importance inside those?
Well, the 100 Great Indian Poems has poems from 28 Indian languages and crossing a period of over 3,000 years. So it gives an introduction to the wealth and richness of Indian poetry over the millennia, over 3 millennia. Starts from the Vedas, Rig Veda, and it takes us to the present-day poetry written by the contemporary poets. It introduces the readers to the richness of Indian poetry. This has been done for the first time. 100 poems from 28 Indian languages have been translated into English. These translations have been translated into so many global languages. The French edition of this book is coming soon. So my paintings are about this concept of what I call planetary consciousness. Again, comes from Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, philosophy from our Upanishad, that the whole earth is a family, and we must see our planet as our home. And that's behind my art. That's behind writing. That inspired me to write, to paint. And my last exhibition in Brazil at the National Library of Brasilia the exhibition was named One Earth and One Planet. So earlier as well, I used this art form called suprematism, where I use the geometrical expressions to express unity of our planet, interdependence of life.
You entered foreign service at a very young age. What was your dream? Can you please explain that?
I was studying in the university, at Delhi University, and then at Jawaharlal Nehru University. And I always wanted to become a diplomat because my dream was to travel, meet people from different countries, and to see the large planetary family we have, which again comes from this inspiration comes from Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, because I see the whole world as one, as other. For me, the whole earth is like a family. So I wanted to travel across the world and to meet people, to work with them. As a diplomat, you not only work for the welfare of your own country, but you also, while working for your country, you also help people from various countries. When you do an agreement, it does not only help us, but it also helps others. So it is for the greater common good.
Is there anything new in the pipeline?
Well, I have just started my next poetry book poem is going to be about my interest in cosmos. And I have here I'm very fortunate to see many constellations, star constellations in the sky. And my next poem is about them.
The anthems that you have written on planet Earth, Chandrayaan, and Sark seem to catch up much with the youngsters. Your views on that?
For example, we have these anthems for schools, universities. We have anthems for football teams. There's an anthem for Olympics. So why shouldn't we have an anthem for our planet, a common anthem? And that's what Earth Anthem is about. It fills that gap that I would like one day to see that whoever we are, from whichever country we come from, we should be able to have a common song, a common anthem to sing together, to express solidarity with each other.
Closing in, let's listen to Sark Anthem. Thanks for spending your time with our listeners. Wishing you all the very best on behalf of All India Radio.
Thank you so much.